The hours of darkness are a dangerous time in Myanmar. Stories of the military kidnapping people at night are circulating on social media. And yet the will to keep up the fight appears unbroken. For the 8th day in a row, demonstrators took to the streets to call for democracy to be reinstated. And now they have been given backing by the UN's top human rights body. The Human Rights Council passed a unanimous resolution urging Myanmar's military to release Aung San Suu Kyi and other civilian government leaders.
Our office is tracking more than 350 political and state officials, activists and civil society members, including journalists, monks and students, who have been taken into custody. Several face criminal charges on dubious grounds. Some remain missing with no information as to their whereabouts or well-being.
The military's crackdown on dissent is getting harsher by the day. The Red Cross said 3 people were wounded on Friday when police fired rubber bullets in the southeastern city of Malamayan. Arrested protesters gave the 3-fingered salute of the opposition in defiance. Meanwhile, the military regime began releasing more than 23,000 prisoners as part of a mass clearing of the country's jails. Though the military has presented this as a sign of goodwill, the opposition fears the regime could just be making room for many new arrests.
Let's get the latest from Aung San Suu Kyi. He is the co-founder of Forces of Renewal Southeast Asia, a network of scholars and activists that support democratic struggles across national borders. He is from Myanmar and lives in London, where he joins us from now. Maung, welcome to DW. What do you know about the nighttime kidnapping of opponents of the military?
Well, that has become a major trend. There's massive evidence, uploaded on social media platforms. And I've got friends who send me in my chat box, like 30 seconds, 40-second clips of the security forces, beating up people under the cover of night or raiding, houses of people that participated in civil disobedience movement. So it's true. It's actually, kidnapping is only one of many tactics the military is using. They emptied the jail yesterday as if it were a goodwill gesture. And criminal convicts, past genocidal organizers, they were among those released. And a couple of video that that I received indicate that some of the freshly released inmates may have been given addresses of dissidents where they go and ransack the people. And so the military is trying to avoid being seen as directly cracking down on the nationwide protest movement. So they are outsourcing, let me repeat, state terror through different civilian outfits, ex-criminal convicts and others.
So I take it, to put it mildly, you do not buy what the military is selling. That is, that the release of those prisoners was should be seen as some sort of goodwill gesture.
Not at all, not at all. Because they have done this in 1988 and other previous waves of mass uprising. And I grew up there. I lived there for 25 years and witnessed what happened in the previous uprising as a kid, as a youngster. When they empty the jails, the jails are ready to receive new the dissidents by the thousands. Basically, just about every village, town, and neighborhood is revolting against what they see as the assault on popular will to live in even a limited democratic government, not put back under the military boot that lasted, that has lasted at least like 45 or 50 years.
What effect have the past 2 weeks of mass protests had on the military? Is there any chance any possible conceivable chance that they could give in?
I don't see the sign that the military is ready to give in. I think there's a lot of questions about the effectiveness of the United States, executive orders by President Joe Biden to freeze assets and, to undertake a series of economic sanctions measures, or the coordinated diplomacy yet. But, it's only like 3 or 4 days, and this is a regime that has been entrenched in power for 58 years, as long as I've lived. And so, but that does not mean that these measures are not welcomed by the Burmese people themselves. What we are seeing is not just simply protests on the streets. The people felt that.
Aung San Suu Kyi, I'm going to have to stop you there. I wish we had more time, but you will certainly be on these airwaves again. Aung San Suu Kyi from London.